Hello everybody and welcome back to our channel and welcome back to Cooking with Lynn on a Sunday. And yes, I know it's been a long time, but we are so busy. I am going to keep trying to get some videos out, but they're not going to be weekly, as like I just said, we've just got so much on at the moment. And today I am cooking beef in black bean sauce, and the main ingredient for this is salted black beans. Now I bought these off Amazon. They last for ages. And the first thing I've got to do is soak them in water, so I'll get onto that in a second. Some of the ingredients, we've got pepper, onion, spring onions, I've got rump steak, rice wine, rice vinegar, sesame oil, and then I'm going to use ginger paste and garlic paste, black pepper, soy sauce of course. So yeah, I'll take you through it and let's have a go. Right, so the first thing you've got to do, I'm using 4 tablespoons of these fermented black beans. You might be able to pick these up in an Asian shop, but like I said, I bought them off Amazon. So 3, 4. So that will probably do one of the meals, about another 4 in there. So put those to one side. So what I'm going to do now is cover them in cold water and leave them to soak. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. Leave those to soak for an hour. So I'll get Alexa to give me an hour's warning. Alexa, can you set a reminder for 1 hour?
What's the reminder for?
Black beans.
Okay, I'll remind you in 1 hour.
Right, the next thing I've got to do is I'm going to cut and prepare the beef. Now, I hadn't heard of this way of tenderizing beef before. I've only ever heard of the good old trusty mallet, but I've got other uses for that. Don't tell Robert. So what you need is I bought rump steak and bicarb of soda. So what you need to do is to prepare this, obviously open the packet, cut it thinly across the grain. That's the first job. Right, so what I'm going to do now, haven't said that for a bit, just going to trim off all the fat. You need about 400 grams, but what I will do is put all the recipe and the ingredients all in the description below if you are interested in making it. I have got more than 400 grams here, but I am going to use both steaks. So yeah, trim off all the fat, and what you need to do is look for the grain and go against it and cut it very, very fine. So that's all you need to do for now. Cut it fine against the grain so you end up with nice pieces of thin steak. So there we go, I've prepared all the beef, cut it thin, really, really thin against the grain. So the next step is to sprinkle about a teaspoon of bicarb over the meat. And in theory, it should make the beef really, really tender. So I'm going to get that all in there. If you can hear any groans in the background, Robert's just come back from work. Whoops. The dogs will have that after. So he's back, so my peace and quiet has gone. So I'm going to leave that like that on the plate, cover it with some cling film and leave that for about half an hour for the bicarb to do its magic, work its magic. So I'm going to cover it with cling film, put it to one side while I prepare the veggies. So I'll leave that with the black beans.
Tell Laura I love her.
Unbelievable. So these have been soaking now for 30 minutes. I've just drained them off. And the best thing to do is just mash not all of them, but just mash some of them down with a fork. So those are all ready now to be cooked. Right, so I've got the beef out the fridge. So now what you need to do is wash off all of the bicarb you don't want it sitting in the bicarb. So wash all that off. I'm going to do it in a colander and then pat it dry with kitchen roll. So like I just said, I've washed it all in a colander. So now I'm going to pat it all off and get as much water out as I can. Make sure that's absorbed as much as we can get out of it. Right, so everything's prepared. I have chopped up 1 green pepper, 1 red pepper and enough onion, just roughly chop those for in a bit. So to start with, I am going to put 1 tablespoon of sesame oil and 1 tablespoon, you have to excuse the noise of the tractor going past, of olive oil. Just grab the top. So heat that up. Heat that up on a high heat. There we go, those are bubbling away already. So next I'm doing this with ease. So I'm going to put in a tablespoon of ginger. Turn that down a little bit because it's getting very hot. And then I need to get something to get that out. So I need to measure a tablespoon of garlic, pour it over, turn that down and mix those together. And then into that I'm going to add my black beans, some are crushed, some are whole. And this will all start making the sauce, and you will get those smells that you wanted, that you were banging on about not long ago. So combine all those, cook them for about a minute. Right, so that's been cooking for about a minute. So to that I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of rice wine. And 2 tablespoons of dark soy sauce. 1, 2. So into that I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of rice vinegar. I'll put into that, and honestly the smell is amazing. Also into that I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of ground black pepper. Then we want to add the chicken stock. I've just used a chicken cube. You can use vegetable stock if you haven't got any chicken stock around. So just add that. Now what you want to do with that then is bring it to the boil and then let it simmer for around 5 minutes. Don't let it burn, so keep your eye on it. So what you need to do is make, you know, like corn flour and water, just so you can add it. So it's about 1 tablespoon of corn flour to 3 tablespoons of water, and make that into a soft mixture. You will need to add some, probably about half, but you'll be able to judge it so you get the right consistency. So that's been cooking for about 5 minutes and it has reduced. So I'm adding half of the corn flour and water to the sauce, and then I'm just going to let that cook a little bit. So I don't know if you can see the consistency there. Just let that cook up a little bit, just turn that on, and then when they're really nearly ready to start cooking. There you go, that's thickening up lovely. So I'm going to put that now to one side and start on the beef again. Happy with that. Right, so I'm going to season the beef. So some salt, pepper, and my daughter has run off with my wok. So I'm having to coat with a large frying pan, but not everybody's got a wok, so that's absolutely fine. So you heat up 1 tablespoon of olive oil and 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. And we heat that up. And then we will, when that's warmed through a little bit. So now I'm going to add the beef. And we'll cook that around. As you can see, this static caravan is slightly running off. So what I have to do to compensate for that is just jack it up slightly there. So we're going to cook the beef now until it's virtually cooked through, which will probably take around 5 minutes. Right, so that's the beef cooked. And I'm just going to add the onions, peppers to that. And you want to cook these for a couple of minutes until the veg has just started to go tender. How pretty does that look? So that's been cooking now for a few minutes, so I'm going to stir in the sauce. And then all we've got to do now is bring it all together, and you won't go to a Chinese again once you've eaten this.
Wow, I'm back, folks. Look at that. Absolutely amazing. I hope it tastes as good as it looks.
So, there you go.
Have you missed me, folks, in this vlog?
No, say no. Taste test. It's hot. Watch it. The plate's hot. So I've just served it with rice. If Robert was to have beef and black bean sauce from the Chinese, he usually have it with chips, but
All day, every day?
I'm trying to get him on a bit of a healthier diet. Good? I've got to try it. I've been trying it as I've been cooking it.
I don't know what you've done to the beef, but the beef is so tender.
Yeah.
You know the Chinese, the meat is always tender. God, that's good.
And, sorry.
Look at that. I don't want to tilt it too much. Man, that's nice.
That's a meal you could cook, pre-cook, and then just take in the motorhome caravan tent and just reheat it. Because you just got to put it on some heat. Absolutely gorgeous. I will put all the ingredients and the recipe in the description below. So please give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video. I will try and get another one out as soon as I can.
Yeah, that tastes like a Chinese, but better, if you know what I mean.
You know.
Fresh.
Yeah, and the beef is...
Beautiful.
It is.
Absolutely. You know, if you like beef and black bean sauce, you must try this. Fantastic. Absolutely. Bang on.
Happy with that. So yeah, so are you going to do the farewell so I can eat?
No, I'm eating that as well.
Oh, bless you.
So we'll do our farewells, people. So we get this down us.
You're just looking to make sure there's still some left in the pan.
I am actually, and there is. Yeah, so stay safe for the caravans, motorhomes, tenters, drift subscribers on you. I love you.
We do.
Thank you so much for watching. We will see you on the next one.
In a bit.
Thank you, Molly Angel.
My pleasure.